OJ Lopez, and we're outside of Fluid MotorUnion in Naperville. This is our YouTube channel. It's a cold winter day, but we've got a project here that's pretty hot. It's a 2015, one of the highest MSRP AMG 63s that we've seen. Now, the customer was looking for a little bit more sound because we just got done doing an exhaust on his V12 Vantage, and he was hoping to get something more exotic than some of the aftermarket options out there, but just wasn't hearing it online. I think we're gonna be able to get him what he's looking for, but let's check out how we can approach this project. Being that we just finished up an Aston Martin V12 with one of our signature X pipes, this customer wasn't quite satisfied with some of the aftermarket offerings that were available for the car. Listening to videos, he just couldn't find a sound that he desired, and we figured we could come up with something for him. Now on this car, there's a few challenges that we have to go over in order to deliver that signature Fluid MotorUnion sound that we're known for hitting. And I'm gonna go over those right now. Now on a turbo car, the big part of the exhaust sound is already controlled or already muffled by the turbos themselves. So in the factory system, Mercedes actually doesn't need a lot in order to keep this car quiet, as I'll show you here in a second. But that being said, with the downpipes in place, like this car has, it changes things a little bit. It makes it a little louder and makes us have to be a little bit more careful with the design of the exhaust. Now, because this is a 5.5 liter and not the 4.0 that later came in the cars, that's gonna change how we do our X pipe. We have a little bit more depth to work with, and the placement of where we put it is gonna be different than if it was that 4 liter, right? These are the downpipes that are installed already. Welds look to be pretty quality, everything's good there. So right about here is where we're starting the factory exhaust that the downpipes went into. And as you can see, following down, these won't do much in muffling, but you'll also notice there's no factory X pipe in place of here. We're gonna get a big improvement and kind of get away from having that 4-cylinder next to a 4-cylinder sound by blending both banks with the well-designed X pipe. So even though the exhaust valves had failed, we still are going to be installing new valves and retaining that function as though the OEM way this car was designed was still intact. So we're gonna have two modes, loud and louder. So we just heard this thing, and I'm not real happy with how this thing, it's a little raspy. I think we can clean that up by putting an X pipe as far forward as we can, going straight as possible to the back mufflers, doing a resonator, and then having the valves work the way they're intended to work. Billy, can you get it? All that through these back tips. What do you think?
Absolutely, because that's what I do. So this is going to present some challenges. The first one is going to be, this is 2 3/4 inch tubing, and we're going to 3-inch tubing. Right here where the cross brace goes, most of your stock cars, BMW, Mercedes, whatever, they smash the pipes here to get it over the top. We don't have that option, so we have to fit 3-inch pipes. We have to make it hook up to the stock fittings. We're bringing it through round here, still want to put the brace in. We're going to put 2 aftermarket resonators in that are less restricted, but should clean up a majority of the drone before it gets to the new pipes. Every one of these exhausts presents a different problem because what you want to do and what you're limited to by what the car dictates in the cavities, it can limit you, so you have to figure a way around that. A lot of this will probably end up looking somewhat similar coming around the
diff here?
The rear diff, yep. And then this is where it's going to get really fun and complicated. That's complicated. This is going to get really complicated because we want to use the stock valves in it again, and we're putting mufflers out the back of it. We want to valve it to a straight section. We want to have a muffled section in it too, which means I'm going to have to build some kind of a Y pipe for where it goes 1 out to 2. And then I'm also going to have to make sure that the straight pipe side is in the bend so that when you open up those valves, it gets a majority of the air. And when it's closed, it forces the exhaust out the muffled side.
I've been saying 2 modes, loud and louder. So you think that fits it?
Loud, and I'm hoping refined when we're done with it.
Yeah, it's always refined with us. I think you'd be hard pressed to find another automotive shop that's done such a wide range of custom stainless steel exhausts. But when I say that we nailed this, I mean it. Not only does it sound great, but the customer's gonna love the increased performance. So if you're looking for an exhaust or have a project in mind where you want something that just isn't available out there, hit up fluidmotorunion.com, call or email us, and we'll be sure to help you reach your goals. Thanks a lot.